Okay, take two. Like a total amateur, I was sitting here talking to my phone, which was not recording. So here we go again. This is Aubrey in Wonderland, and today is September 7th, 2016. On March 22nd, 2016, which was 24 weeks ago, I had Roux-en-Y gastric bypass surgery, and my highest weight was 288. My surgery weight was 255, and last week I was 191.2. I had a 1.2 pound gain the week before, and this week I was 188.4, which is a net loss for the week of 2.8 pounds. 1.6 pounds if you want to count my gain. But 188 is really exciting, and a couple different reasons. Number one, I wasn't even thinking about the whole 100-pound mark, but I was very, very excited to get into the 180s. I think it's because I felt like 190s was in the danger zone. I was a little too close to that 200 mark, and I wanted to stay under 200. But I also realized that 188 was 100 pounds lost since my highest weight. That is so exciting. I'm just over the moon excited about that. It was just this big giant to conquer in my life. Hold on just one second. Anyway, so it was just this big giant in my life that I needed to conquer. Being over 100 pounds overweight was very daunting and overwhelming to me. And here I am, a year later. I'm 24 weeks post-op, but from my highest weight, that was like a year or two ago. And I am here weighing less. So, weighing 100 pounds less. And that is really, really exciting. I don't know if you guys have ever visited that website, ilostwhat.com. You can punch in how much you've lost, and it'll tell you you've lost the same as one emperor penguin, or you've lost the weight of 27 hammers. I always got irritated when it would say, you've lost, I don't know, like 100 toothbrushes or something. It's like, come on, give me something bigger. But anyway, I love that website. It's really cute. And I have lost a 12th grader. I'm sorry, a 7th grader. My 12-year-old, who's a 7th grader, weighs almost 100 pounds, 97 pounds. So I've lost a 7th grader. Okay, so this last week, I think I was just due for a loss. I did pretty well through the beginning part of the week. It didn't seem to bother me mentally about having gained. I didn't really make a bunch of bad decisions because of that, but it was after I weighed and figured out that I was down to 188 that I really started shoveling the food in all the time. I think part of it was just stress. I am historically a stress eater. If something is bothering me or stressing me out, I will munch and I will graze. And I definitely did that this last week. And it was nothing like major that had been causing my stress. It's just basic stuff that everybody deals with all the time. But it just got to me, and so I kind of let it get the best of me this week. And when I catch myself doing it now, I try to substitute water instead and go for the water. And trying to stay away from those slider foods that I can eat a large volume of. Potato chips, pretzels, things like that. I've definitely been, I think it's head hunger, but I've definitely been hungrier. Like last night, we met my parents-in-law at Costco to eat at their food court. It's the weirdest thing. They call us, do you guys want to eat at Costco? And, I don't have to cook dinner at that point. So I'm like, yeah, everybody in the car. So we go down there. And I got the chili, which is, the stats are pretty good on that, but it's a big thing of it. So I ate half of it, or a little bit less than half of it. And then later, like 2 or 3 hours later, I was hungry again. And so I ate the other half. So I ate the whole thing of chili that night for dinner. Just took me 2 shifts to do it. But I'm going to give myself points for that because it was later that night. It was like 9 or 9:30. I was hungry. I was genuinely hungry. And instead of reaching for some kind of munchie, I reached for the chili. I made a good choice, and that's all I can really ask of myself. So, but yeah, the stress eating has been a big deal this week, so I'm working on that. Oh, another thing with my weight loss, I pulled a pair of 14s out of my drawer because a friend had given them to me, and they hadn't fit me. And so I could fit into some 14s, but not these, and then I kind of just forgot about them. And I went to put them on. They look way too big. And so I was frustrated because they're super cute jeans. They have like holes up and down both legs, and they're totes adorbs. I know I'm not cool from saying that, but as my kids would remind me. But anyway, they're totally cute. And they were way too big. I couldn't wear them. I looked ridiculous in them. Which would mean if I can't wear a 14, I guess that means I'm into a 12. I don't know. I haven't had the courage to go into the store and try on 12s yet. A lot of my pants that I'm wearing are, I'm having to wear belts with them to keep them up. They're like 15s. Also, I have a pair of 15 juniors that I wear on a regular basis that I have to wear a belt with. And then I've been wearing like maxi skirts and leggings. So I don't know. Maybe I'm a 12. Maybe I'm not. I don't know. 12s are reserved for skinny people. Like 14s, you're still getting there. And I was ecstatic at the idea of being in a 14 because I was a 14 in high school. But for me, even back then, it was like, oh, I'm not a 12. I wish I was a 12. So we'll see. We'll see. I know if I'm not in one yet, I will be eventually, but that's exciting. Okay, so a real quick note of caution for those of you who may have a CPAP machine. I'll tell you about something I went through this week. My insurance switched over, and so for a couple of months I didn't have insurance. It took a while to get everything all sorted out with what I needed to do with it. So by the time I got back on, it was backdated all the way to July 1st. So I realized that my CPAP machine bills were coming to me and they were no longer being paid for by insurance, hence because I did not have insurance. Hello. So I realized that I was going to owe over $350 for this CPAP machine. And I was really confused by that because I know that my insurance had said that they would only pay for it up to a certain point once the monthly rental exceeded the value of the CPAP machine, I would own it and they would stop paying on it. So I thought it was paid off, and then on top of that, my insurance was paying for it, and I didn't realize it was not, that I didn't own it. So I get these notices and I'm like, I don't want to pay that. So I called, and anyway, I got my insurance backdated. But the question is now, I have not used my CPAP machine since I got out of the hospital from my surgery. I hated that machine with a white hot purple passion. Could not sleep with it unless I took 2 Ambien, and even then it was just absolutely miserable. So I stopped using it, and then plus since my surgery, since I've lost so much weight, I've stopped snoring altogether. I do not think I have sleep apnea any longer. But I have not confirmed that with my pulmonologist, and so I keep the machine. So I don't know if the new insurance company is going to cover that, my July and August payment, because I haven't been using it. So we'll see. If they're not covering it, I'll just return it. But if my insurance will cover it through November, I will own it. And I would like to own it in case my husband ever needs it, in case I ever need it again. I don't plan on regaining all of my weight, but you know, my dad is 6'8", barely 200 pounds, and he has sleep apnea. So you never know. It's not always weight related. Anyway, do you know how much that machine was? I'll tell you why insurance is so expensive. That machine was almost $1,500. $1,500. That thing better cook me breakfast if I'm going to pay $1,500 for it. That's all I have to say. That's ridiculous. Anyway, so I'll get off my soapbox. Okay, so another thing I did this week is I have been finally getting rid of all of my old clothes. I've just been like folding them up and putting them in a pile. And I had like 3Xs, 2Xs, 1Xs, XXLs, and XLs that I've been getting rid of. And I've been selling them on the swap site on Facebook to help offset the cost of all the new clothes I've had to buy. And it has been strangely and surprisingly emotional. And it has nothing to do with the clothes, actually. It has to do with my mom. And that's because it was almost like a pilgrimage through my weight loss journey, because I was picking up these shirts that, compared to what I'm wearing now, are so much larger than what I wear now. And hanging them up on a white background and snapping a picture and then folding it, logging it, and putting it aside, and then moving on to the next one. I did that for 67 shirts. Now that's from XL all the way up through 3X, but still, that's a lot of clothes, and that did not even count any of the jeans. I still have a stack way like 2 feet, 3 feet high of jeans to sell. But anyway, it was emotional. I was hanging up things that nightgown I bought for my honeymoon but never wore because I didn't like the way I looked in it. And then now it doesn't fit me right. It doesn't look right on me. So I never got to wear that. Another example would be items my mom bought me over the years, like these pajama sets. They were 3Xs, and it brought back memories of her, and it brought to mind, I just found myself wishing that she could see me. I know she would be so proud of me. I'm proud of myself. And that was one of the major catalysts for me choosing to have weight loss surgery, was that the last time I saw her, which was 6 days before she passed away, I had promised her, I had reassured her that I was taking seriously her, she just sincerely did not want me to go through what she was going through. I lost my mom too soon. She was 60 from heart failure, stroke, and diabetes. A combination of the 3 things killed her. And she just begged me, and I rejected it at the time because I had too much pride to really accept her advice. But in the end, without her saying anything, we went out to breakfast that day, and it was 6 days before she passed away, and I said, Mom, I want you to know that I am taking to heart the things that you have said about your health and what you want for me, and I'm going to do it. I'm going to do something. I don't know what that something is yet, but I hear you. And so as I thought about her, and these pieces of clothing would come up as I would hang them up and take pictures of them and get rid of them, those thoughts of those conversations were playing in my head, and having just hit that 100-pound mark, and I wish she could see me. I wish she could see me. But that's okay. I'll see her again someday. But anyway, so, okay, I'm just going to leave that there. I had some other things I was planning on discussing, but I think this video is long enough now, and I think the subject I want to take on is going to take more time and more energy than I have at the moment, so I'm just going to leave it there. I will talk to you guys next week. I hope you all have a fabulous week, and my kids just went back to school today, so I'm not one of those mushy back to school moms. I'm like, yes! Just because I love seeing them get back to their routines, and I love football season and fall, and this is just the best time of the year to me. So I hope you guys have a good one. I will talk to you next week. Bye.